On Earth 1988, Peter Quill's mother passes from cancer. Distraught, he runs from the hospital, being picked up by Yondu and his Ravagers. 26 years later, now named Star-Lord, Peter steals an orb, unaware of the importance of what's inside. Ronan the Accuser, a Kree terrorist, is after said orb. He made a deal with the Mad Titan Thanos. In exchange for retrieving it, Thanos would destroy Xandar. Rocket and Groot aim to collect a bounty on Quill's head, whilst Gamora, daughter of Thanos, attempts to retrieve the orb. The group is restrained by the Nova Corps and taken to the Kiln, a high-security prison. That night, Quill prevents an inmate, Drax the Destroyer, from killing Gamora, as he was seeking revenge for the murder of his wife and daughter at the hands of Ronan. Together, they all work to escape the prison and sell the orb. They travel to Nowhere and meet the Collector. He opens the artifact to reveal an Infinity Stone inside. The party is interrupted, however, by Ronan and Nebula securing the orb for themselves. Ronan betrays Thanos, intending to use the stone to destroy Xandar himself. The Guardians come together to stop him. After fighting her sister, Nebula escapes. As Ronan's ship falls to the surface of Xandar, Groot sacrifices himself to keep his new friends safe. Ronan survives, but before he can destroy the planet, Quill grabs the stone. The power is too much, however, with Gamora taking his hand. Then Drax and Rocket. They share the power of the Infinity Stone and destroy Ronan. They give the stone to the Nova Corps for safekeeping. As it's revealed, Peter is only half Terran. His father is something ancient they've never seen before. They return to their ship as Rocket plants Groot's remains, birthing his offspring. Months pass and the Guardians are hired to complete a job for the Sovereigns, being gifted a captured Nebula. However, they come after the Guardians when Rocket steals from them. Surrounded, they are saved by an unfamiliar ship, before crash landing on a nearby planet. Their savior introduces himself as Peter's father, Ego. Meanwhile, Yondu is exiled from the Ravager factions by Stakar after he helped deal children. The High Priestess of the Sovereign approaches Yondu, wanting to hire him to collect the Guardians for her. When Ego learned of his mother's passing, he hired Yondu to track Peter down, but he never returned. Rocket, Groot and Nebula stay with the ship as the others join Ego and his servant Mantis back to their world. Yondu confronts Rocket but doesn't intend to hand him in, to the disapproval of his crew. With Nebula's help, they lead a mutiny. Ego continues to explain to his son that he is a Celestial. He built the planet and set out to find life. When he heard that a man from Earth held an Infinity Stone and lived, he knew he had found his son. With Kraglin's help, Yondu and Rocket escape, taking back control of the ship. Meanwhile, on Ego's world, Gamora is attacked by Nebula. They come to a stalemate as Nebula reveals she just wanted a sister, whereas Gamora always wanted to win. As Ego begins to tell Peter of his larger plan, Gamora and Nebula find themselves in caverns beneath the planet's surface, stumbling upon thousands of skeleton remains. Finding life disappointing, Ego implanted thousands of extensions of himself across thousands of planets. He explains that a single Celestial does not have enough power to complete his plan, but two is enough. He spent years attempting to graft his DNA to another species, finally succeeding with Peter. Peter attacks his father upon discovering it was he that planted the tumor in his mother's head. As Mantis reveals, the remains are of Ego's children, the ones that did not possess the Celestial gene. Rocket has Groot plant an explosive within the center of the planet as the others escape, with Peter keeping Ego occupied. As the planet explodes, Yondu dives in to save Peter, with his powers dissipating along with his father. Yondu sacrifices himself to save his son, the boy he protected from Ego, when discovering what he truly did with those kids. The Ravager factions arrive to pay their respects, and Nebula leaves on good terms with her sister. The Sovereign High Priestess looks over her latest creation, the next step in their evolution, naming it Adam. 4 years pass and the Guardians respond to an Asgardian distress call. They find nothing more than a massacre, pulling in the still alive Asgardian king, Thor Odinson. It was Thanos, with the Mad Titan heading for nowhere to retrieve the Reality Stone from the Collector. Peter, Gamora, Drax and Mantis go after him, with Rocket and Groot accompanying Thor to create a weapon capable of defeating him. They are too late as Thanos secures the Reality Stone. Thor though secures a new weapon, Stormbreaker. Star-Lord, Mantis and Drax arrive on Titan to rescue Gamora, bumping into Iron Man, Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. With their combined efforts, they manage to subdue the Titan, slowly easing the Infinity Gauntlet off his hand. Before they can do so fully, however, Peter discovers Thanos had killed Gamora to secure the Soul Stone. Enraged, he attacks the Titan, awakening him. Strange gives up the Time Stone in exchange for Stark's life. Rocket and Groot join Thor in the battle for Wakanda, where Earth's mightiest heroes attempt to defend Vision and the remaining Infinity Stone from Thanos' forces. However, when he arrives, they are swatted away with ease. With all 6 Infinity Stones in hand, Thanos snaps his fingers and completes his mission, erasing half of all life. Mantis, Drax and Quill disintegrate on Titan, as Groot does so before his best friend's eyes. Stark and Nebula are rescued from the Titan ship weeks later by Carol Danvers, taken back to Earth to reunite with the remaining Avengers. Locating him, the team ambush Thanos, killing him, only to find he had destroyed the stones. 5 years pass. Managing to secure the stones via time travel, the Avengers bring everyone back, but after them comes a younger Thanos and his daughters, Gamora and Nebula. The defenders of Earth all reunite to face down this terrifying army, as Quill reunites with Gamora, but one that does not know him, having come from a time before they met. She disappears as Tony uses the Infinity Stones to snap Thanos and his army away, but at the cost of his own life. The Guardians attend the fallen hero's funeral before then returning to space with Thor. For months, the new team answer distress calls whilst also searching for the Gamora variant. One day, Thor decides to part ways upon receiving various distress signals claiming the gods are being killed. The Guardians return to nowhere, buying it from the Collector and beginning to fix it up. Feeling down over Gamora's absence, Mantis feels she should cheer Peter up. As it's Christmas time on Earth, Drax suggests they get him his favourite hero on Earth as a present, Kevin Bacon. Finding their way to his house, they break in. Terrified of these aliens, he runs away. The duo dismiss the cops with ease, with Mantis using her powers to calm him down and take him aboard the ship. Returning to base, they decorate the place, presenting Peter with his present. He freaks out, however, telling Mantis to get him out of the trance. Back in the right frame of mind, Kevin wants to go home. Kraglin explains how much he meant to Peter growing up, with the actor deciding to stay. As the festivities continue, Mantis tells Peter Ego was her father also. He's overjoyed to have a sister, hugging his new sibling.